Welcome, welcome. If you are here, just comment in the chat. Morning, Sean. How you doing? Good to see you. So I haven't used the live feature in a while, so we're just testing it out to see if it's still up and running. I won't be on very long. Just came to check in with all the subscribers just to see how you guys are doing this Saturday morning. Hope you're hearing me clearly. I want to do. If you're hearing me, just let me know in the chat. Morning, Zara. Yeah, Sean. Good to see you. Everybody hearing me? Good, good, good. Yes, as I was saying, it's not gonna be a long live. Shouldn't be, because I'm actually on the road, but I just had a few minutes. Let me say, let me check out this live thing and see if it still um works as it should. And I was on just for about 5 minutes. I said to myself, I said to myself, how come nobody no come on yet after like 5 minutes? But then I realized that I ended the live and then I realized that I had it posted as unlisted, so then it wouldn't have shown up in your notifications or whatever. Technology, you know. Well, yeah, man. As I said, I'm just here checking in on you guys. If you feel like sharing in the chat, if you have any questions, if you have anything to say. As I said, I'm just trying to touch base, see if I can get accustomed to doing lives. Um, See if it's something I can use more in the future. You know. But again, it's easier if there's like interaction in the chat, you know. Yeah, man. So, anyways, it's a beautiful. What day is it today? It's a beautiful Saturday, and today the plan is to just run some errands. You know, typical weekend vibes. But I don't think I always check other people live and then just come on and then just talk and just talk for 1 hour, 2 hours, and I'm wondering how do you find so much words, man? How you find so much words But again, it also helps when there's interaction. Say man, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? What's the plan for the weekend? What's the plan for the Saturday? How is family doing? Everything. I really want to build a community over here on YouTube. I know it takes intentionality and it takes consistency. And sometimes I fall short on the consistency part because of just life, other things, but just life and the busyness of life, or how busy life can be. But I am going to try to be more intentional and more consistent here on YouTube, just to try to build a community. Because I'm realizing that it's not just just not just a digital space, but I really have the opportunity here to really connect to people and share with people, help people as much as I can, you know, and with my gifts or whatever it is. So I try to take it more serious. But again, if you're here on the live, just remember to double tap the screen so that I think when you double tap the screen, then you're actually liking the live, and the more likes the live has, the more it will be pushed into other people's algorithm. Blessings, Earl. How you doing? Remember, double tap the screen. Anyways, yeah, I was just in the supermarket and um, what was I looking for again? I was looking for green tea, and I walked into the tea aisle and I found what I was looking for, the green tea. But then I was looking around and I say there are so many options. There are so many options, so many different types of tea, so many different types of everything, you know. But I always try to draw out the lessons from the simplest of things. So the lesson I got from that this morning was whatever you're aiming at, whatever you're going for, whatever the focus is, keep the main thing the main thing. So, when I went into the aisle, and as I said, there are so many options, so many other things. I'm going to say, boy, maybe I could have tried this, maybe I could have tried that. But then I remembered that the green tea is what I went in there for, and I stick to the plan. The plan was to get the green tea, and I took the green tea. I'm just take for myself. But if I stayed in that aisle any longer, I probably would have ended up with green tea, black tea, turmeric tea, and other things. But I had to be deliberate about keeping the main thing the main thing. And I am going to use that approach, or I try to use that approach with everything. Keeping the main thing, because it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get distracted, and we all fall prey to distractions at many times, many points in life. We fall prey to being distracted. Um, we fall prey to being caught up with things that are not as important as they appear to be. Yeah, and it takes intentionality. It takes closing doors. It takes saying no. It takes sometimes hurting the feelings of others. You know, sometimes you have to hurt other people's feelings because you know exactly the path that God wants you on. And people or other things will try to draw you in many other directions, but you have to just stick to your guns and know that, hey, this is the path that is what I'm supposed to take right now. This is the direction that I'm supposed to be going right now. And come what may, no matter how, it doesn't matter how the other things look or appear, or the other directions look or appear. I know that this is the direction that I am supposed to go, and I'm going to go in that direction. And even as regards YouTube, for me, I have been learning that lesson as well. Because yeah, if you've been here a while, you know how the content, the type of content that I kind of started with. It wasn't even deliberate. You can't see me? Yeah, this is better. It wasn't even deliberate, but I uploaded a video and then the video went viral, and then I faced the temptation now of continuing down that path of that kind of content. And that's just not my desire. That was not my desire. So even though now I have, let's say, less traction on the channel, less viewership, less yeah, less eyes on the channel right now, I am content doing the content that I am currently doing. You understand? This is what I feel like the Lord has impressed upon my heart to do. And though I can, because I have the gifts that can be used to make other types of content that is like entertaining and all that kind of thing. I don't feel led to do that. And I just came to the realization that I will not feel content doing what I know I have not been called to do. So if it's even 1 view, 2 views, 3 views, I will make the content that the Lord has laid on my heart, because at the end of the day, I want who to be pleased? God to be pleased, and whatever man think, But so it's important to know who you are in Him and what you've been called to do. Yeah, blessings was a garden queen. Blessings. There's someone Z1G3Z. There's no name there, but blessings. Yeah, I won't be on for much longer, but yeah, the live still works. Maybe if I come live in the afternoon hours, or so, maybe more people will be here. But in any case, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I appreciate you guys coming on the live. Um, yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. But I'll just be hanging out here for a few more minutes before I have to go to the next location. Yeah, man. But yeah, as I was asking earlier, what's the plan for the weekend? What's the plan for the Saturday? What is the plan? You guys have any questions for me? Have any um suggestions for content that you want me to put out, things that you want me to talk about? Just let me know. Any plans in view of this current administration? I don't know if I understand that. What do you mean? So, what do you mean by that? Any plans in view? Plans to vacate Uncle DT? I don't know about that. Maybe, you don't know. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm doing what I need to do right now. For me and my family. And all will be well. All will be well, cause the Jamaican saying. If you're Jamaican, I don't know if you're Jamaican, but the Jamaican saying say, "Man a plan and God a wipe out." So at the end of the day, man can plan to do a million things. If it is it is if it is the Lord's will, that we'll be all right here, right where we are. We will be fine. You understand? Yeah, man. You can't too load up the thing at all, at all, at all. Yeah, man. But how about you? Are you here? What's your plan? He said he'd gather us. When you say he, who you talking about? Well, it's capital he you put, so I'm assuming you're probably talking about God. Yeah, man, but I'm not really, trust me, it's easy to become consumed by everything that's happening, considering, but I'm leaning on what the Lord has promised. Yes, that's all we can do. But it's easy, it's easy to get flustered, it's easy to get um worried. You understand? Easy, because I fall prey to that all the time. Sometimes it happens to me where um I binge watch the news, and it never turn out right. Like, I would never suggest to someone to sit all day and watch the news. You understand? We used to do it. Just turn on whichever station, CNN or whatever. Back in the like earlier days still. Um you used to just turn on the news and just sit and watch the news all day. But not anymore. Not anymore. My mental can't manage that. My mental health is a priority because there's enough, there are other things happening in my life personally that requires my energy and my brain space. So I cannot give myself over to the news 24/7. No, sir, you're mad. You're mad. So I'm not suggesting that you should be just dark and unaware of what is going on and live under a rock. That's not what I'm saying. But everything in moderation, man. It's good to be aware, but at the same time, I don't believe that the human brain was created to manage and process all that information all at once. You know? So you can be right here now, wherever you are, and you're seeing what is happening in Israel, you're seeing what is happening in Afghanistan, you're seeing what is happening in Mexico, you're seeing what is happening in Canada, you're seeing, and most of the news is bad news, right? Most of the news is bad news. So imagine your brain now whole day processing bad news. And especially like for me, I have realized that, because of my personality type, I don't know if you'd call it a personality type, but I am an empath. So I feel a lot, right? So I can easily put myself in someone else's shoe and kind of feel not exactly what they're going through, but I have an idea. And I am, when it comes on to my emotions, I am for the most part in tune with healthy emotions, so I can feel sadness, I can feel pain. You understand what I'm saying? I can't sit down all day and take in all of that. Cannot. All right. Okay. And a couple who traveled to 9 countries in Africa since 2020 have returned, saying with all the issues, it's still best here. Wow. Okay, that may be true. I mean, I think it really just depends on what you want. It depends on your desires. It depends on what you want out of life. Some people, their needs are different. So for us, for me, certain conveniences that I may say I think I need, somebody else might say they don't need those conveniences. For some people, they have to live close to a Starbucks, or they have to have access to a Dunkin' Donuts, or whatever they're into. Well, for another person, that's fine. So they can go live in the bush in Congo or wherever and be comfortable. So it just depends on your personal needs, what you want. Yard better with weather, but safety. Yard is better with the weather. Um, but if you live down south like I do, I mean, like in Florida, it's just very humid, but it doesn't get cold like that. So I wouldn't say I miss the weather per se. People up north would probably miss the weather, but it's just humid. So it's neither here nor there when it comes on to the weather. But as I said, the safety issue. And as I tell people all the time, I don't sit down and make a big deal over the safety issue in Jamaica, in the sense that Jamaica is just a place where you have to just know where you're going. You have to know where you're going, when you're going there. It's a certain place you know go after a certain time of night. And it's just like here. It's just like here, that certain parts in the hood and say, go certain time of night, or just stay away from it altogether. But I get what you're saying though, because even one of the concerns a lot of people have going back to Jamaica is just like emergency response. So like here, anything you hear a little sound in your backyard, you can call 911, and within, I think them say the average national time that 911 the police gets to your home is like 5 to 7 minutes, and if the police is there. While on the other hand, in Jamaica, it might not be that. Tell you a quick story. I remember when I was a child, there was this guy, because where I live close to a highway. So I remember this guy, I don't know if he was drunk, right? And I don't know when go with him friend them, and they were driving um past my house, and him them let him out on the highway for whatever reason. Well, that was the story that he gave us. And he came up into the yard, come up on the step, I climb on the side of the house, and all kind of foolishness one night. And we call the police station. The police station is about 8 minutes drive. The closest police station was about 8 minutes drive from my house. That was many years ago. And when we call the police station, the police said they didn't have any working vehicle currently at the what I think they had only one vehicle working, and that vehicle had already gone to another location. So they never have no working vehicle available to come and assist. Remember, this is a strange man where we don't know him outside I make noise and climb up on the grill and them kind of something there. And we call 119, because 119, and that is the response that we got. They don't have a working unit right now to come and assist. You understand? So when it comes on to the safety thing, crime is everywhere. Crime is everywhere, including America. Some people paint this picture as though there's no crime here and whatever. Crime is here, but yeah, it's just that response. I think that's the sense of safety that a lot of people have in the States, where that sense of safety, and you also get a feeling many times that law and order is just more, where that's maintained here. Yeah. Somebody said, when I visited Miami, it was hotter than Orlando, but not as humid. Oh, yeah, okay. Henry says, happy Saturday, everyone. Silent internet auntie here from St. Lucia. Blessings, but shouting you you out to say, have a great weekend. Same to you, internet auntie from St. Lucia. I've never met someone from St. Lucia. Or maybe I have. Maybe I have. Yeah, man, crime is everywhere, man. Crime is everywhere, man. But at the end of the day, as I said, it's just a response. It's just the need, it's just the peace of mind to know that, hey, if I call 911, I can get some help. Sometimes it's too late, but the fact that you have that option and you can say it's reliable. Yeah. And even 911 as it regards to not just like police services, but um like ambulance, like healthcare. Like, in a Jamaica, there's no ambulance coming to get you. Like, they have private ambulance companies that provide ambulance services and so on, but it's not a prevalent thing. So chances are, if you don't have a private vehicle, you have to probably call a taxi. And, sometimes it's en route to the hospital. You need certain medications and so on that an ambulance will be able to provide certain interventions versus you just in a one taxi now going to the hospital. So that as well, I believe would cause a lot of people to remain in the States, especially if they have like chronic illnesses or they're elderly and things like that. Garden Queen, anywhere you live, you have to be aware of your surroundings and be careful. Exactly. Anywhere in the world you are. You understand? Anywhere in the world you are, bad company is bad company. Anywhere in the world you are, bad mind is bad mind. They might have a different name for it, but anywhere you go in the world, you will have people who are jealous, who sit down and watch people and envious of what they have, or how their lifestyle, what their lifestyle is, and so on, and would want to do you harm. Judith says, "Happy Sabbath, happy Sabbath to you, Judith. Hope you have a blessed day. You're going to church today. What time is it now? In Jamaica, it's 10:21, so you'd have gone to church already. Yeah, man, but I have decided not to let certain things bother me because I'm here already. The fact is, I am here and I have not heard the Lord say move, not right now at least. So if He has brought me here, He will keep me here. That's the bottom line. You understand? And the scriptures tell us that we should not fear man who can kill the body. You understand? But fear the one who, you know, have the soul in his hands. All right. Andre says, for my weekend, I'm starting to Christmas decorations. Christmas? Today what date? Today the 19th of July. Wow. All right. Well, happy starting. I mean, I love Christmas as well, but make me not so early though. I'll probably start listening to Christmas carols like closer to, I say, October. When October come around now, then I kind of start feel the Christmas spirit, and I listen to Christmas carols because I love Christmas carols. I love Christmas carols. I love the feeling it gives. I love, just the reflection on the birth of Jesus and everything. I love that time of the year, and I don't get into debates with people about, if whether Christmas pagan, yes or no, and Jesus never born in December. I don't really mean to do that again. You understand? I know we don't know that we don't know if Jesus was born December 25th. That's not a fact that we know, but for me, it's the spirit behind it, and the spirit behind it for me is reflecting on the birth of Jesus and the whole story behind all of that, and also celebrating with family as well. There's nothing, I don't see anything wrong with that. Miss Johnson says, "Good morning, long time. I'm happy to be here." Yes, good to hear you, Miss Johnson. Good to hear, good to hear, good to see you. Judith said, "No, staying home today. I always enjoy your motivational talk." Okay, good. Well, I hope you have a peaceful Sabbath. I hope you have a peaceful Sabbath nonetheless, even though you're not going to church. And thanks for watching. And I want to encourage you, if you're on here and you have not hit like the notification bell on the channel, go to the channel page and turn on your notification so that when I post videos, when I come live, you'll see it. Because as I said earlier, the way this channel started, it started with a different type of content, and it's like the algorithm doesn't like when you change course, right? So the algorithm would favor me if I was still doing content like that, but I am more leaning towards inspirational, motivational, biblical, encouraging content. That is what I want to do. You understand? The algorithm may want me to do something else, but that is not what Zion Ministry says. You've been missing for a minute there and glad you're back. Life. Honestly, life. There are many things that, just like everybody else, there are things that you go through in your personal life that you don't come online and talk about. And it's the same with me. I'm just a human, just like everybody else. So there are just some things that needed my full attention. When I say full attention, undivided attention, and social media or being online was a distraction, and I just never had anything in me to give. You understand? So I just stay away, recoup, reassess, and come back again. And I'm here again by the grace of God. Yeah. So thanks. I really appreciate everybody who watches the content, everybody who, and I want you to interact. If you watch a video and the video is meaningful, or if you get something from it, or you wanna correct something or what anything, leave a comment, because I want it to be a space where we engage with each other, where it's a community, where we can encourage each other and we can grow together. That is my goal. I don't just want it to be, oh, I have a YouTube channel, I may have this bag of subscribers, and that is what it is. That's not what I want. I want it to be a meaningful space where I can encourage and help other people. Z1G3C says, church is another iffy area everywhere now. Watch a truth unedited there, and when you get a chance. All right, I'll check it out. The narrator, bro Ron, is Jamaican. His dad is Jamaican, and he has some interesting things to say regarding. Okay, I'll check them out. Yeah, church is iffy everywhere. Yes, Miss Rose, I know it's you. It's after I said the name, Juliet Johnson. I said Juliet Johnson name sound familiar about Miss Rose, right? I know it's Miss Rose. Blessings, Miss Rose. Good to see you. What was I gonna say? Yes, the church thing is a iffy thing worldwide. It's not just Jamaica, it's not just America, it's not just so here what I've been saying. And again, guys, I might leave the live abruptly because I'm just waiting on my wife, right? Um hear what the church thing is now. If I'm ministering to somebody, if I'm sharing the gospel with someone or encouraging someone in the Lord and so on, if they say they don't go to church, I don't automatically think that they're saying they don't want God or they don't want Jesus. That's because that is not the case. As I've grown and as I have experienced church as well, every angle, every side, every you know, and I see church for what it is and what it can be. And when I say church, I'm not talking about Christ's bride, as in the true believers. I'm talking about church as it is. Like we go to the church and the members, and you know that as the word of God says, the wheat and the tear grow together. So you're gonna have some people who genuine, and you're gonna have some people who, trust me, is like they're from the pits of hell. The agenda that they come with, the way that they live, the way that they treat other people is not Christ like. So when people say them not upon the church thing, I understand completely sometimes what they're talking about. And to be hurt by people who are from the church, come on, remember, the church is somewhere that you go for healing, for restoration, for because you're hungry for God, or you need His presence or whatever it is, and then you go to church with that intention or that motivation, and then there are some people there who are worse than people outside of the church. So for that, for some people that can be confusing, especially if there are people who are babies in the faith, people who just believe in Jesus now and just start them walk. If they don't have a certain understanding of the truth of the gospel and the truth of the word, these things can affect people greatly. These things can cause people's faith to be shipwrecked. These things can cause people, as in our term, would I say, backslide and go back because of the hurt that they have experienced, unless the Lord heal that part of them and they open up themselves to be healed by Jesus and realize that man will be man. You understand? Some people have a hard time, and it is not it's not unique to any country or any space. It's worldwide because our broken people go to church. Broken people is not perfect people that go to church. It's broken people who seek after a perfect God or worship a perfect God. And there are some people as well who don't want God none at all. People have different motives for going to church. People have different motives. Zaymish says, we understand there and we appreciate your authenticity. That's why we follow you and like to hear from you. We know life be lifing for us. Yeah, trust me. You see, authenticity is a big thing for me. Integrity is a big thing for me. I am not. We all can be hypocritical at times. We look at with things, but in general, I'm not. I'm not a hypocritical person. I'm not gonna be the person who is gonna come on here and pretend and put on a show and no, that's not me. I don't mean that. From ever since from I know myself, from 2014 when I really recommitted my life to the Lord, and I've really tried to do ministry in the true sense of the word. I have never done anything as far as I remember for the glory of it or for show, or it's really what is down inside of me that is what I pour out. So if there's nothing inside of me right now, I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not, because I am at a filling station. Is like you have a car and the gas done, right? That car is going nowhere. Where the car needs to be is at a gas station, right? So if I know that spiritually where I need to be is a gas station, I am not going to go on the highway. I am not going to go on the highway because what? Car go broke down. So I'll fill myself up and seek God about certain things, then I come back. And I'm not trying to please nobody. Yeah, but again, thanks. I appreciate Zion Ministry. I appreciate the follow. I appreciate the subscription. I appreciate you watching the videos. And I remember everybody, if you're here and you're a true believer, remember me in prayer. Remember everybody who does ministry, anything publicly where they proclaim their faith or anything like that. Remember us in prayer. Remember everybody in prayer, but especially people who minister a certain way, pour out to people and encourage people and lead people to Jesus, remember us in prayer, because when it comes on to the spiritual attacks that we must endure, that we must encounter, that we must fight, not normal. Yeah, Garden Queen says that's great because lots of people, yes, I know a lot of people are going through a lot and need inspiration. That's true. Zara says, I encourage people to worship right there in your home. Trust me, God will find you there. But I understand where a baby Christian can definitely. Yeah, man. Worship is not limited to a building, right? While I believe firmly that we must come together as a people of God to encourage one another, to share with one another, to be with one another, and love on one another, right? Because I don't believe that God created us to live in isolation. I don't believe that worship is limited to a church. And I've seen many times where there are people who the Lord would have brought away from the church as we know it for a period of time and deal with them individually for a period of time. And then they can now re engage in church, as the body. If you understand what I'm saying. And it is what it is. Everybody have to know the season of life that they're in. You understand? And God can meet you anywhere, anywhere. There are people who got saved. Some people get saved in a church during an altar call. Some people get saved in a bathroom. Some people get saved while on the road. Some people get saved in random places. And you can encounter God anywhere. Some of the best praise and worship sessions that I've had in my life and the deepest and most sincere prayers that I've prayed have been in my car while driving somewhere. I play worship music or whatever, I sing, and the presence of God is there. I pray, and the presence of God is there in my car. Yes, I just tell him to accept Christ, read Bible, pray, stay close to God, fellowship when possible, even phone prayer. Exactly. And technology, look at what we're doing right now. Look at what we're doing right now. I am all the way in the United States. I don't know where you are. As a matter of fact, I'm in Florida. Just put in the chat where you're actually logging in from. Yeah, so I am here in Florida, and you are where you are, wherever that is, and we are able to share. Right now, I am talking to you, I am encouraging you, and you are encouraging me because you're responding in the chat, and even as I put the words out, the words are returning